What is up, guys? It's CJ here, and welcome to a trade review on a beautiful Wyckoff Model 1 on NQ on NASDAQ. Today is June 3rd, 2026, and off the open, NQ spawns this beautiful Wyckoff Model 1 distribution that we were extremely pre-planned for, but there was some things that I would like to clean up and some things that I want to review. So I want to bring you guys along for the journey. So let's get into it. I'm going to clean up the chart and I'm going to bring us back to the New York Open or pre-New York Open. So I'm going to get rid of everything on the chart and we're going to talk about it. So keep that FEG. We'll just move this to the side. All right, so here is where we are coming into NQ for the day. You can see that it is 9:10 a.m. right now, New York time, and I've identified some Wyckoff points on my chart. We have, well, here was our trade from yesterday, a little Wyckoff Model 1 accumulation with this IFEG come up. We do have a PSY. We have a buying climax that's slightly broke structure. Obviously, the buying climax is always going to fail. We're going to take that high again, but it's good to see sellers stepping in there. More validity to the model. So one thing that really hindered the model for me was this order block, this 10-minute order block. I usually completely disregard them and just have the chart looking like this because it's at the bottom and it's just a range inefficiency. Unfortunately, I had just one of those times on Bitcoin recently where I traded a model like this and it used that demand to wreck my model. So that was a little bit in my head, I think, at the time, but that is using another trade to justify something in this current trade, which we definitely do not want to do. And the one thing and the notes that I wrote down about this is if we look at our sessions here, orange being New York, blue is New York PM, purple is Asia, and London is teal. So you can see I will color code my liquidity points as well. The more futures charts you'll see me doing that. It's just for that reason. So this demand is actually created in after hours. So potentially a little +1 to disregard it. Something I didn't consider at the time, but definitely in hindsight is big. So here was our plan. Let's go to our journal here. So this is in our preparation. This is kind of what we're looking at to start the day. We got this SMT that I'm going to go over. And I was looking for either a Model 2, but most likely a Model 1, taking that high. So that was the pre-plan. And if we come back into NQ, we're going to take a look at the SMT first because that was an amazing confluence for this play. So here we have NQ at the top, and on the bottom we have ES. So I can't go back in time with ES, but we're just going to use the cursor and I'm going to show you each point. And I've already put it on here and it's a little bit weird, but it definitely is a point. So here was our chart on ES, and follow the points. This point is our PSY. This point is our buying climax, and then our UTB. So let's make sure we label this. UTB, our upthrust in phase B being the cause phase, building this beautiful return to zone with all that sell side liquidity. You can see that when I look at the UTB on NAS, look where it is on ES. It's right here. So it never took that high. It wasn't able to take this BC high and actually bled down, showing weakness. Yes, there's liquidity and potentially we can be targeting it later. But for this short on NQ, it just gives us an amazing confluence to now put this SMT on our chart. So this is a SMT bearish divergence right here, and these charts are so beautiful in how they are correlated in this way. So I definitely wanted to show that. So now that we have that understanding, we can know that we are looking to operate NQ because NQ is the one with the model. ES is just the one giving confluence. So here we are. We have our plan. Look at our plan. And now we are looking to execute. So what do we have? We also have this as a London high. So if this was already a model 1, I would potentially be considering an LPSY in this case. So say we already had confirmed a model 1. It would be more relevant to look at the supply here, because I think there was a 15-minute order block. Yep. But that's also your London high. So it makes a lot of sense for New York to come up and sweep this London high right here for liquidity. And so we're going to go on the low time frame and we're going to watch how New York opens. And it went one too far. All right. So we did make our way up and we did sweep that liquidity. Beautiful. Now we know we can be having a Wyckoff Model 1. I would never label it that early, or I would never put a dot on it that early. But let's see what we had. So we're watching for fair value gaps on the way up if you're looking to take an inversion trade. And we're also looking for breaker structures. So here's our BOS low. And do we have any fair value gaps? Well, I've checked every time frame and there's only a small one. Oh, interesting. There might have been one here as well. Definitely wasn't clear at the time. Maybe I just didn't see the 2 minute. I guess that candle did close. So put this on. It's just not the one that I ended up getting. So here you have this 2 minute fair value gap. I've already put IFVG because I know what happens, but yeah, I had a feeling that candle was not closed yet, because this was not here in time. I thought I messed up there, guys, but that candle was not there at the time. There was no 2 minute fair value gap. There was no 1 minute fair value gap. There was this little 30-second fair value gap right here. That was the only thing. So this was your IFVG, and we got to go over it like we're our highest selves. So Bojan high after sweeping that liquidity, not just any liquidity. We are in a Wyckoff model, so Wyckoff liquidity. Enter on that candle close, stop loss above Bojan high, run this down for the range low. And this is the highest self entry rate here. So it's a 4.9. So let's look at the RRs that we do end up actually getting and the different entries and what types of RRs they're giving. So here is the best entry on the chart and the best entry in the model with the best take profit. That is a 4.93. We're going to get that off the chart because we absolutely did not take that. So what did we take? Well, we have this 1 minute market structure low. I hesitated on the 30-second. I wasn't sure about the 30-second. It was very small. There was no other fair value gaps. It was a learning experience. What happened on the ones? We broke down aggressively, breaking structure back to bearish right here. So your typical Wyckoff entry, if you will. Now, it was pretty low in the range. I never end up taking that. It also happened very quick where it closed and the next candle went immediately lower. So that next candle goes immediately lower. I'm now looking at this model and it looks like this. So we're going to extend this SMT because ES, that is that high there. So the SMT is just continuing. ES showing a less strength. So that can be our UTAD of our Wyckoff model, our third tap. Yes, it is a close tap Model 1, but timing and everything, super, super good. So now I am considering this and saying retests are hot. So anything that you can get with your stop loss above here or wherever you believe the invalidation to be, get in. Get in for the model, get in for the ride. So what ends up happening is price sweeps this London liquidity right here. Good sweep. But we still have this Asia. Right there. So I'm going to have to makeshift what I did. I didn't know this candle at the time. I was watching a lower candle. So retests were hot. Believe we got something like this. Yes. Okay. And this was our entry. So we went above that Bojan high. I arguably like going above this IFEG as well. But I went above that high and caught a retest on a hot retest. I wanted anything above this break structure line. I think we end up just coming right back to the initial break of structure, which could have been a nice, just a little front run limit for a slightly higher RR. And we're going over this because we want to refine it. We want the highest RR we can possibly extract out of the market. I want to see what time frame I want to play this for you guys. So we also had our order block right here get created. So I knew that at the time, right here. You get that 3-minute beautiful supply order block created right here on that candle close. So this is kind of how the play is looking as soon as I enter. We're going back up, but I don't really care. And we go straight back down. Played that a little bit too fast. So there you saw it. And we talked about the demand. So I only entered with one contract, and that was a huge mistake. I would have loved to refine the stop loss even more. And then if I was scared of this demand, take one contract off there and absolutely run the next one for the low. So this was our trade right here. Realize 1.3, 1.9 RR. It just could have been a lot better. Let's see, we should have it in here. Yeah, here was the trade right here. Just definitely have to journal, just definitely have to be better because, you know, we talked about that higher self 4.93 RR. Could have at least secured ourselves a 2.3 RR if we would have just trusted this model, trusted the non-sessioned demand to not be relevant at all, and there would have been the trade. There would have been the trade. So good to get a win, good to be anticipating the market in this fashion, but there is some more refinement. So I wanted to share it publicly with you guys so you could see my process and how you know we're learning and evolving, because you know it's really just the beginning still, and there's a lot more to learn, a lot more reps to be put in. But these models, they work extremely well. I'm gonna do a better job of maybe showcasing the futures process, and you can see we even come into this yesterday's IFEG. Let's see what current price is doing, because I think we get a bounce here. Yeah, bounce right from that old IFEG. You come back up. So make sure that you are taking profits at Wyckoff targets. This is just about, you know, getting in and getting out. Time in the trade. I think it was very quick time in trade, especially for me getting out there. But honestly, it only took like another minute or so to complete the whole model. Maybe 5. But all right, guys, I've been CJ. This has been a trade review on a beautiful Wyckoff Model 1 distribution on NASDAQ, and I will see you guys in the next one.